House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
Olá pessoal, bem-vindos a mais um vídeo de A Noire Parte, aqui que fala o vosso amigo João Pedro. No segundo episódio concluímos o nosso primeiro caso de incêndios, deixa eu ver. Hoje temos um novo caso de incêndio para resolver. E este Biggs, e vamos lá até ao nosso destino. Eu não estou a saber aqui, a questão é essa. Agora cada tipo de esquadra.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Persian. Tell me about it.
Well, the new housing development's a couple of weeks from completion. Burned to the ground last night. You guys are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers.
KGPL to any central unit. Ambulance
Shit.
shooting.
Tell you?
Central unit
The arson
identified.
desk has been trying to nail that to something.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
KGPL to any central unit. Ambulance shooting. Any central unit identified.
$11K, go ahead.
Car 11K. Ambulance shooting. Meet the officer at the Interstate bus station at Beverly and Union. Code 2.
Bus station.
What's the situation?
Some stick-up boys lost their heads and a girl got shot. We have to move fast, sir. There are still people inside.
Whoa!
We don't want any civilian casualties, Biggs. I got it. Stay in cover.
Eu não segui.
He's on the lamp. On the floor.
Pumba, já era. Só um tiro, matei logo.
Has that just been paid?
You know
Ora
the
vai,
way.
olha.
You can drive.
Mas estão a ver que eles já estavam a ter uma conversa. Se não fosse o crime.
guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs.
Sério?
Do you have a name? Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture
Morreu
of the
queimado,
family.
mas. E assim não morreu naquela posição estranha, não.
Anything else? To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert.
Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved. Ooh. I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved him into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
Foram um vídeo, realmente.
What are they doing?
Prayer effect is from the fire. The muscles and tendons contract.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
Another day, another
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
You got the wrong guy.
That doesn't
Oh,
explain
God,
why they ran into a
stop
burning
me.
building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt.
For the fires?
For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. Probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
He could be right. Can you come up with an alternative
I'm
explanation?
sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Uou, eu
Albert,
fico
check out the hot water
transtornado,
system. Make
Bates.
sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating pigs.
Max, deixa-me ver o resto da casa, pode ser que haja aqui alguma coisa.
Maybe. No.
Vamos já falar com o Bice, que eu já percebi que eu fico transtornado com essa história. Bice,
So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out.
ah, daí o trauma. Mais um problema com traumas de guerra. O Fox também os
There's
tem,
gonna
né?
be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
I haven't done this for years.
I swear.
You don't look like a fireman, son.
Triste vizinho. Vamos à procura do esquentador, pessoal. Ahá! Olha, eu não disse.
Looks like the same model.
Varley. A gente está a falar com o vizinho, bora.
This is a secure area. You all need to leave.
All these cops.
Hmm?
Gotta be something big, right? That's the swine. Look at him.
Pegadas.
Someone was keeping watch. Looks like they were here for quite a while. Brand looks distinctive.
Alguém teve pegadas e...
Olive oil comes from olives. Where's the baby oil?
Olha mais o jornal.
How did you get my number, Ira? At first, I didn't understand you. But now I do. I'd like you to come back to the clinic. I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven.
Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose. Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
Este médico é que está por detrás disto tudo, este psicólogo, de certeza.
Let me through. I just want a quick look is all.
Então nos falta uma pista.
Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere.
Tell me what's going on.
Nós vamos ter que falar com o vizinho.
LAPD. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
Meu fim de semana de viagem, olha outros.
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
Nem deixaste acabar a pergunta.
You didn't like Morelli, did you?
Some neighbors you get along with, some you don't. Guess they should have sold up.
What do you mean?
They're knocking down all these old houses and building a new subdivision for GIs.
Ah.
Morelli was being difficult.
Did you see anyone hanging around the Morelli's home prior to the explosion?
Nope. Can't say as I was looking out, though.
Não sei, pessoal. Este aqui é que eu não sei.
You sure, Mr. Foreman?
Tenho certeza.
Signs of someone hanging around over there by the fence.
Hey, now that you come to think of it, there was a guy. Kind of tall. Skinny, though.
Anything else?
Orange lumber jacket, beat-up hat, and no hair. I thought he was the pest exterminator guy who was working around here the last few days. But that guy had hair.
You said someone is knocking these houses down?
Elysian Fields. You must know them. They're billboards. That Monroe character beaming down at you. We've had an offer for the house.
Did the Morellis want to sell?
I don't know.
Não sabes?
Thought of Morelli.
Sério?
His whole family is dead. They couldn't have all deserved that. I want you to help me here, Foreman.
Morelli was pig-headed. He built the house himself. He didn't want to sell.
Stubborn fool
Os
was
outros
ruining it
venderam
for all of
todos.
us.
Só aqueles que não venderam foram.
You said the Morellis had won a weekend away to Catalina Island?
Yeah, that's right. First thing I thought after the explosion was, thank goodness they was away. Then I find out they was still in there.
Who was running the competition?
What? I don't know.
I need more, Mr. Foreman. Tell me what you know about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
I know nothing about it. I've never heard of them.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Foreman.
Sure. Hey, if you're interested, I have one of those competition flyers in the kitchen. I could get it for you if you like.
That would be great.
Any luck, Cole?
A couple of things. What did you pick up?
Folded piece of paper.
Olha, o origami.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not.
Aha!
I'm folding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields Developments.
Já temos, obrigado.
Oh. I see you already have one.
É o mesmo.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday
Ele
afternoon.
disse a última era verdade. A última pergunta era verdade. Ele não sabia de nada. Mas como a toda deram dúvida, eu não acreditei nele.
I've got friends who work at the exam. How about $5 for the exclusive?
Vamos aqui telefonar para saber onde é que é a tal coisa.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Blades on the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe. He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm
Whoa.
warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a
Uau,
line.
vamos ter problemas então.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Whoa, whoa.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
Rancho escondido. Vamos até lá primeiro, depois vamos até aos Campos Elíseos, à empresa.
Next corner, go left. At the next turn, take a right. No need to turn yet. No need to turn at the next intersection.
Unit in the vicinity. A citizen reports a 459 there now at 38 North Catalina. Unit to handle code 2 identified.
Left up ahead.
Whoa.
Right here. Just go on through here. Keep going through the turn.
Ok. Pelos vistos, eles não foram na viagem, por isso é que morreram queimados, pessoal.
Next corner, go left. Right up ahead. Next left.
Deve ser aqui. Eu acho escondido, é aqui.
You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
Realmente. Eu não sou religioso, mas... Uau! Queimaram
Not gonna tell you again, sir. Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property. It is not This is safe, America, dickhead.
Sir.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for Smart a fray. mouth son of a bitch!
Come back here. You're not getting off that easy. That's done it for us. We're gonna have to pacify these poor saps.
Come on, then.
Toma!
Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's
Vamos então investigar.
to look at.
Ah, o
Water is
jogo.
like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
Baixa qualidade. Pois. Eles dão a desculpa que vão construir as casas, mas é com muita baixa qualidade.
Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing
Vamos ver,
looks like it
olha.
was built on the cheap.
Eu não disse, olha. Baixa qualidade.
If we're
Eu
paying a
disse.
visit to Elysian and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
Agora como é que eu subo? Pode haver mais qualquer coisa aqui. Aí... Como é que eu... Vou ver aqui maneira de fazer prova. Acho que o Vic já se foi embora. Acho que o Vic já está no carro, não? Deixa eu ver, eu acho que ele já está no carro. Já. Vamos até aos campos elíseos.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Vamos ter problemas com o nosso chefe, mas não há problema.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady.
Eles são os
We
polícias,
don't need an
meu.
appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
May I help you, Jack?
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr.
Right.
Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen.
Ok. Ok. Isto pelo menos tem bom senso.
You like a cigar? Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Olha as casas. Olha as casas, olha.
We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
Deixa-me ver o que é que ele diz, porque eu não consigo ler tudo. Por causa dos folhetos.
We hear that Suburban is under severe time pressure to complete work on the new houses. I think you're getting heavy-handed about it, and it's gone wrong.
I hope you have some proof of how I'm involved in this. I'll be
Então
happy
os
to
folhetos
sue you
têm
for
a
whatever
tua
you're
cara,
worth.
como é que é isso, pá? Os folhetos têm a tua cara.
Rancho Escondido burned.
Ué.
Can I grab one with the works? Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
May I help you, gentlemen?
Aqui já dá para passar. Há bocado
Like a cigar. Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs. We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
Mas aqui é o concurso das viagens primeiro.
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Ai não? Só vamos ver.
Level with me, Mr. Monroe. You know all about the vacation offers.
You can believe whatever you like, son. You're missing the vital ingredient called proof.
Temos folheto com a tua cara.
Your face is all over the flyers, Mr. Monroe. You know about the prizes, and you're aware that they get given to holdouts.
My face is the brand. It's on all our advertising. Did you know that the mayor and the chief of police are part of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund? You want to accuse them of murder as well?
Ligação.
Elysian Fields and
Folhas
Suburban
de
Redevelopment Fund
infectados.
flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
Tem que usar a intuição, pessoal. É dúvida.
We found a
É
family
dúvida,
burnt out
mas
in their home.
que a gente
Another
não tem
house
provas
burned to the
para
ground
o
with an
acusar.
Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Point is, every time we find a family barbecue, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
Isso é publicidade mesmo?
We've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
Tem que haver as provas. Aquecedora, da Instamit.
I think you're being less than candid, Mr. Monroe. You're building these homes to some timetable. You're under pressure to get rid of the holdouts.
And how exactly do you think you can prove that in a court of law, detective?
Realmente não tenho nada aqui para o acusar.
You don't ask, you never find out.
Deixa ver. Eu vou meter dúvida, pessoal. Não sei, mas acho que vou meter dúvida.
Come on, Mr.
Boa, acertei.
You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the wastebasket of history. To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense.
Em relação ao incêndio
What's
escondido.
Elysian Fields' involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
It met with building code regulations.
Absolutely. Only the best for our
Melhor.
returning heroes.
O teu material é uma porcaria, meu.
There's something out of kilter about that development.
Son, I've had enough of you and your fidgety friend. There's
Não há
no
nenhuma prova.
way in
Eu acho que
hell
tenho
you
provas.
can prove that my
Eu
materials
acho que tenho
were
provas, meu.
inferior.
Este gajo não diz uma verdade. Cimento de baixa qualidade. O material
No expert.
é uma porcaria.
Will find that the bricks being used on those houses are undersized and the mortar is faulty.
And there's no wall ties connecting the masonry to the frame.
Every building is built to a budget, boys. Those buildings were inspected and fully insured by California Fire and Life. Investment of that magnitude demands it. Do you think that they'd vouch for the buildings without examining them? The arsonists, do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for waybills, do you suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help.
Okay.
Very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund?
Ui, 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 ui.
Glad to be of help,
Filho
officer.
da mãe, meu.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Your boss is a fine man.
You look like you were a big pain in the neck.
Eu quero telefonar, usar este telefone.
When is America going to understand it's all giving up?
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective.
What? Foi libertado? O gajo que a gente perdeu no último caso?
I'm sorry, Detective.
It's not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks.
I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face till there's love for me in it.
Olha, olha ele, vai, vai.
And baby, I'll bill it. 'Cause I always kill the things I love.
Olha,
Buy me a drink, Cole? No. Not even for old time's sake?
Not even for that.
You're not going to ask me why I'm here?
I wouldn't give you the pleasure. We'll get around to it.
Something quite other.
She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel
Save
about...
the threats for someone who cares about the boy.
You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you.
Vai para o caraças, estraga uma figa.
Stay away from Elysian Fields.
I should have known that you were playing errand boy.
You and your doofus partner. You have been warned.
Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Desaparece, não.
Stay away. You have no idea the type of people that are involved in
Ui,
that.
está aqui.
Pretty good idea.
Incluindo este, né?
Sent you here.
Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
You get the message about Monroe?
Yeah. Earl delivered it. You?
Kelty started making noises about my pension.
What? Coitado, meu.
Sorry about that, Herschel. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Save it, Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done.
Vamos até onde agora?
KGPL calling car 11K, 11K.
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up.
You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did. But I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California Fire and Life. Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Has Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf? Or the rest of the campaign?
Keep on going. Jack keeps stum just like you do. I know what it feels like to get back from conflict. You gotta respect that. Keep going through the turn. That's it. Keep on. You don't need to turn here. Keep going through the turn. Dead on. Go right.
Já me enganei.
Left up ahead. Can we try not killing the people who pay our salaries?
Costa abaixo e tudo. Ai, que caraças.
Can you go right at the next corner? Right up ahead.
Vamos ver se conseguimos prendê-lo agora.
Just go on through here.
Whoa!
Dead on. No need to turn yet.
Eles afastam-se mais.
Son of a bitch!
Vais tu a guiar, vá, foda-se.
Can you drive to this one?
Vais tu a guiar, caraças. Porra! Nunca mais lá chegamos assim. Já estamos com 42 minutos de vídeo. Vai eu a guiar, foda-se.
We're looking for Herbert Chapman.
I'm looking for him too. I need him to move his car so I can mow the lawn.
He's definitely not here.
I've been banging on his door off and on for a couple of hours. Yeah, he's out somewhere. There's some
Let's
kind of
take
problem.
a look at the car.
Olha.
Calling around. Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence.
Os filhos do outro.
Definitely gives him opportunity.
Isto é o quê? Munição de calibre 45. Ai.
Holy cow. There he is. It's Chapman. He's coming out of the laundromat. Shit. He's seen us.
Cops. Again.
Ele está armado ainda para mais.
Son of a bitch. He must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in. Get some cars dispatched. Car 11K calling KGPL. 11K requesting assistance. In pursuit of suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar, currently heading east on Melrose Avenue. Advise all units. Suspect is in control of car and driving dangerously.
Officers need assistance on Melrose Avenue. A suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar headed eastbound. Approach with caution. Suspect is in control of the streetcar and driving dangerously. Units to Hamilton Code 3 and identified.
Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him. See if he can damage one of the wheels. Might act like a brake and slow the thing down. Hold him tight, Cole. As soon as he ditches the tram, we'll be there to grab him. Get me closer to the driver's cabin. I'll plug Chapman. I need to be closer, Phelps. Look, Cole, the side plate's going. End of the line, you little prick. Come on, Cole.
Já era.
Looks like we have our man, Cole. Well done.
I'm not so sure. Chapman seemed to have his own agenda. There seems to be more to this than a personal vendetta.
What are you talking about?
Fires benefit Elysian in some way. I'll see Chapman and Monroe working together.
You have a point. The evidence is good for Chapman. Hard to be worrying about his side of the story when he's blasting away with that big 45.
Nice work, gentlemen. Put yourself at considerable risk stopping that trolley and probably saved a lot of lives. Anyone else but you, Phelps, and you'd be up for a bravery award. We've had our eyes on that slippery son of a bitch Chapman for as long as I can remember. Couldn't be happier than to wipe him off the scoreboard. I hope this puts to bed that crazy stuff you had going about Leland Monroe. What were you thinking, Phelps? Been calling Richard Nixon.
O que é que ele queria que fizesse? Resolvemos o caso, meu. Mexeram na... Só que mexeram na pensão do Vix. Essa foi já a primeira coisa.
What is it?
A letter from Lou. His insurance policy named me beneficiary.
California Fire and Life. You worked for Elysian?
The roof that he was working on collapsed.
It's a very generous settlement. Elsa, I'd like you to do something for me. I think there's something dirty about Elysian Fields.
What has that got to do with Lou?
I want you to reject this settlement. I want you to go and see an investigator named Jack Kelso and ask him to make some inquiries about Lou's case.
Então vai ela ver.
Isn't this police work?
Do you want to find out what happened to Lou?
Why would he help this Kalso?
Jack won't be able to help himself if he smells a rat.
He's a friend of yours?
He hates my guts. Elsa, you could take this money and let them get away with it, or we could get Jack's help and do something about it.
Why not be honest with this man, Cole? He deserves your honesty if you want his help.
Believe me, Elsa, I'd like to level with him. I really would, but it's too late. Years
Então,
too
vamos começar a investigar mais a fundo esta coisa, pessoal. Sete e 8, uma do lado vizinho. House of Sticks, Casa de Paus. Acho que agora basta a Elsa que vai falar com o tal Kelso.
Mr. Kelso?
That's what the sign on the door says, miss.
California,
There's no need to come into the office, Miss Lichtman. If you accept the settlement, all you need to do is sign here.
I don't accept this.
What do you mean you don't accept? I think you're pushing your luck, lady. This seems to be a ridiculously generous settlement. A $200 policy with a $20,000 payout? You should...
I don't want the money.
What do you mean you don't want the money?
I want you to investigate this case. I feel my friend may have been the victim of foul play.
Okay. Let me get the case file.
Bem pessoal, acho que vamos ficar por aqui. Espero que tenham curtido. Deixem o vosso like e comentem. E no próximo vídeo vamos aqui começar este novo caso e vamos jogar com o Kelso. Um abraço a todos. Até o próximo vídeo. Subscrevam o canal e ativem o sininho para não perder os próximos vídeos desta série e outras séries. Um abraço a todos. Fui.